This is day one of our October 2009 European tour. We got a Trafalgar 30-day tour for an incredible price. The Trafalgar bus picked us up from the hotel and we travelled from London across the ferry to Calais and then on to Paris. Here's a shot of the trucks and things waiting in the yard while we were sitting in the bus waiting to go onto the ferry. So as I said, the ferry goes from Dover port to Calais port, and we got a P&O ferry. The one we got was getting a little bit old, and here's a photograph of the lounge area where we sat for a little while in the rough weather, but it calmed down and we were able to go outside a little bit. Just before we got into the rough seas, here's a shot of Dover, the White Cliffs of Dover, and another shot as we got into the deeper water. And there you go, the weather is starting to pick up. And when we got across to Calais, we offloaded. This is not our ferry, but we offloaded and we travelled to Paris using the main roads, obviously. And we had a stop on the way at a roadhouse. We didn't get anything, but some of the other people on the bus did.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About here somewhere. Here. It happened here on the left-hand side. Yeah, it was pillar number 13. Yes. It can be a lucky number.
So then the bus took us to the hotel, and we stayed at a dog box called Carrad Hotel, and it looked good from the outside and there was enough parking, but boy was the room small. I had to walk over the bed to carry my luggage in to put it onto the chair. Then around 5 o'clock or thereabouts, everybody came down to the bus, and we travelled into the city centre to go on a evening bus tour and river cruise on the River Seine in Paris. So we drove past a number of nice little quaint French restaurants and coffee shops, and past some landmarks. And you can see by the time on the dash cam that it took a while to get from the hotel to the actual ferry. This is a Google image of a ferry similar to the one that we took our cruise on, and it was right on dusk when we got moving, and it quickly became dark.
앞에 보시는 다리는 알렉산드르 3세 다리인데 돌과 청동 조각물로 장식된 철물 구조로 모던 스타일의 매력을 보여주고 있습니다. 1900년 완공되었으며 프랑스 러시아 동맹의 바치
qui abrite dans ce quartier ambassade et ministère.
To starboard, the Saint-Germain Quarter. The Napoleonic Egyptian-style Hôtel de Beauharnais is one of a number of 18th century mansions in this quarter, which house embassies and government evolved as it has been variously enlarged, destroyed, rebuilt, overloaded, burnt, and built again to become what it is today.
Brücke Pont-Neuf. Sie ist die älteste Brücke von Paris, 1606 gebaut. Im Mittelpunkt der Brücke wurde das Reiterstandbild Heinrich IV. Errichtet, der französische König, der den Religionskriegen ein Ende setzte.
新桥是巴黎最老的桥，建于它为法兰西国王结束了宗教战争。
퐁네프는 1606년에 완공된 파리에서 가장 오래된 다리입니다. 중앙에 있는 동상은 종교전쟁을 종식시킨 앙릴 4세의 기마상입니다.
À bâbord, le palais de justice, reconstruit par Napoléon III, il étouffe la Sainte-Chapelle, joyau de l'architecture gothique du XIIIe siècle au temps des croisades. Sur le plan architectural,
Cet édifice de pierre et de verre représente un équilibre parfait de magnifiques vitraux.
To port, the Palais de Justice, rebuilt by Napoleon III. It surrounds the Sainte-Chapelle, a jewel of Gothic art.
It did get a little bit cold and most people were rugged up. I certainly got a little bit cold. And here's an image of how many people were on the cruise.
Vous apercevez le long du quai la statue de l'empereur européen Charlemagne. En souterrain, des vestiges de culte antique.
Notre-Dame de Paris. Its parvis, or square, from the Latin paradisus, is point zero for the national road system. On the waterfront, you can see the statue of Charlemagne, Emperor of Europe. Below ground, traces of ancient places of
Franceses. La estatua que podemos apreciar es la del emperador Carlomagno. Las excavaciones realizadas permitieron descubrir vestigios de culturas antiguas.
Notre-Dame de Paris. Im 19. Jahrhundert wurde der Platz, der Kilometerstein Null aller französischer Nationalstraßen ist, umgebaut.
院教堂前广场上有全法公路荧光一点，河岸上大家可以看到欧洲大帝夏勒马涅。
1763 by the architect Villard de Robécourt and the bishop Maurice de Sully. It is symbolic of the Gothic period, along with the cathedrals of Chartres, Amiens and Reims.
62 von dem hochbegabten Architekten Villard de Robécourt für den Bischof Maurice de Sully errichtet.
Very interesting with its columns, pillars, vaults and rooms.
A estribor, la conserjería. Vestigio del palacio de los primeros reyes de Francia, la conserjería fue transformada en prisión en la época de la Revolución Francesa. La sala de guardia y la sala de los gendarmes nos presentan columnas, pilares, bóvedas y ojivas de gran valor arquitectónico.
Backbord, die Conciergerie. Die Conciergerie ist ein Überrest des ehemaligen Palastes der ersten französischen Könige.
The Tuileries Garden. All that remains today of the palace burnt down during the Commune is the garden, designed by Catherine de Medici. Now adorned with statues by Mayol, it is being fully restored. The gardens were made public at the request of the writer Charles Perrault.
El Jardín de las
Which flood tide measurements are taken. Just after the bridge, to starboard, the Museum of Modern Art, Bourdel's statue to the Free French, and the Trocadero Gardens.
Puente del Alma. Frente a ustedes, la estatua del soldado de infantería nos permite apreciar el nivel de las crecidas del Sena. Inmediatamente después vemos el Museo de Arte Moderno y la estatua realizada por Bourdel en homenaje a los franceses libres.
Pont de l'Alma, direkt neben.
So then the tour bus took us to the Eiffel Tower for a drive past, and we also stopped at a place called the Palais de Chariot. And here's a good image of that photographing area. And basically we walked up the stairs and everybody stood there and took some really nice shots of the Eiffel Tower lit up like a Christmas tree and a beacon light flashing around a 360-degree circle. It was quite nice. It was a pleasant evening. Unfortunately, there was a lot of gypsy type people selling rubbish and they weren't persistent. Here's some image selfies of us sitting on the boat and one in front of the Eiffel Tower with it sticking out of my head. And here's another one of Linda holding it up. Then we got back on the bus for a further tour. If you pause this, it gives you an idea of the route taken by the cruise boats. And here are some still photographs of the riverboat cruise for the night tour. The River Seine night cruise was definitely worth paying the extra for, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was cold, yes it was cold. Commentary was extremely loud and it echoed off the sides of the river walls.
There, underneath the bus of the people. The Opera of Paris. Paris has 3 operas. You have a very modern one also.
The video was produced by myself, and it's another exciting video of our October 2009 European tour, day 1 in Paris.